Her name is Mary.
Mary,
And
yeah,
Mary. So, Mary, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to have a chat with you and you share your story with the community.
yes. Uh-oh. What did I do?
Yeah,
Sorry.
no
Okay.
problem.
I'm trying to mute it because she was.
Welcome in, Elizabeth Francis. Thank you so much. So, real quick, share a little bit about your journey. How did it all begin? So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I first and foremost, I'm a mom of three kids. Two of them are special needs, and my little one, he's why is she doing this to me? Um, so my little ones right now are sick, so they're home from school. So, and I had to put her like in her bed and in her room, so that's why she's a little upset. Her room is like right above us, so uh, can you hear her crying? Is it
It's okay. I
bothersome?
mean, it doesn't bother me. I don't think, that's fine. This is
Okay,
life, that
okay.
I'm okay with it, right? Yes.
Um, okay. So my oldest one and the one that's crying are both on the spectrum. They're both on the spectrum. And my little one, he's in speech, but he's since he's turned 3, he's came a long way. We were a little worried about him, and thank God He's starting to say sentences. He's came a long way. But the person you see sitting here was not the person that was in my 20s and all that. So it's been a long road of healing and self, like reflecting and stuff like that. Like even when something comes up, because I used to stress so much, I know we say it's like the enemy that would get in my head. Just little things, I would be like, oh my god, how am I going to get through this? And I used to stay up all night. It was so hard on my body. I just used to worry about every little thing that would come up in life.
Yeah.
And thank you. Uh, but I'm a completely different person now. And
I love it. I love it.
okay,
I love
like
it. So
every time
let's
I get
take them back to the beginning. So
yes.
looking back, how did your childhood trauma shape your early life and relationships?
Ask me again because I was reading the thing about her son.
Yeah, no problem. So, looking back, right, how did your childhood trauma shape your early life and relationships?
Um, so coming from early childhood till now, or back then. So my I grew up in a household that was very kind of toxic with me and my mom, and my father he had some problems of his own and dealt with depression and dealt with addiction of his own. And he ended up passing away very young. He passed it away at the age of 41,
Wow.
which was very traumatic to me because he was my best friend. Me and my father were very, very close. I'm a lot like my dad in a lot of ways. Um, so that alone, I feel when I think back on it, I should have gotten therapy for that. I feel that like that happening to me and my sister and then being thrust into like different things
Yeah.
um shaped different things happening in the future um like boyfriends that I shouldn't have had. And then when like I never when things happen like with my son and things happen with like other things, it never like it was like my brain never fully developed. Does that make sense? It never fully like grasped onto things. You know
How
what I
old were
mean?
you when your dad passed away?
I was 16
Okay, wow.
and my sister was 14. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. That's totally
Yeah.
tough. Let me just thank people. So I'm just thanking everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you all for the gifts. And I have a gnat in front of my face.
That's
Okay.
okay.
Now, um, thank you guys. So
Yeah.
when because you had trauma, you said, and
Yeah.
so you started obviously. For the most part, a lot of people that have trauma use some type of escapism, right? So
Yeah.
talk to me about the substance use. When did it first become part of your story? Welcome in, Skyman.
It seemed like it was young. It seemed like it was in the form of um. It seemed like it was in the form of what like weight. First, it was like weight things. It was like I was using like prescription amphetamine. In a lot of ways, I got addicted to that, and I got addicted to because I had control of my body. I don't think I got to talk to you about this the other day. Was I oh gosh, I was like I can write a book. Was like I was like this is what I can control. I can control my body. I can't control what's going on at home, but if I can control my body and what it looks like, so that's where like the bulimia came into factor, and the how can I can't say it on here. It's stuff that you take to lose weight, and it's it makes you hyper,
Gotcha.
and then you end up getting like where you can't go without that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting to where when I would eat something, it was like I can't. This can't be in my body because if this is in my body, it's gonna make me fat.
Right.
So
Right.
then uh, the bulimia set in. I don't know if I can what I can say on here and what I can't, but then that came into factor, and then it was like I was hanging out with people that was doing it, and then it was like we were all. It was a big twisted, messed it up thing. Um, so that was kind of a first escape when I was young. I was a teenager, and then the fast forward um, when I got older. Um, I had my son, and then it got into my son got it was before I think my son got diagnosed because um I remember my son got no, it was before that because I was hold on, I'm trying to think what. Oh yeah, so I started taking migraine headaches. First came the migraine headaches, then came the seizures. So I took the migraine headaches, the seizures. I was trying to see doctors what was causing the seizures, and then they started throwing um, RXs at you.
Yeah.
Like you need to take this, you need to take this. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry because she's throwing me. My daughter's throwing me off.
Oh
I'm so
no,
sorry.
no, don't take your time. Don't apologize. When
So
our environment feels out of control, we hyper focus as a occasion on ABC over control. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone has a special vice, and yours was happened to be, in that during that time bulimia, which is like you said, a sense of control, right?
yeah,
Control. Yeah.
yeah,
So then,
and
talk to me
then
about the RXs. Yes.
yeah. So then that came into play, and then being on them for years, and then going to different doctors trying to figure out, what's wrong with me? Why am I taking it? And the seizure started, and we couldn't figure out why that was happening. Um, and so I was putting on different all kinds of different medications, and they were putting me on um stuff for anxiety, and then it went from that to that. It just spiraled really, really bad out of control. Um, and it got to the point where it went from that to like I blinked and I was like, where did 15 years go? And what, you know what I mean? And like, what am I doing? And like, why is this tooth cracking? And like, why is this happening? And like, why am I not taking care of myself? And it just was bad. And like, my husband was getting in trouble. It just like, we weren't like the people we used to be. You know what I mean? It's like you don't mean to, but you lose yourself.
Absolutely.
And and then it gets to a point where it's like you're you're doing things to like cope. You're doing not to cope, you're doing it to basically wait like how can I explain it? You're not doing it because it's fun. You're doing it to because you have to function the next day. You know what I mean?
Is it fair to say that you were doing it maybe to numb the pain as well? The
Yes.
pain of
Oh,
losing your
absolutely.
father, the pain of your mother causing you a lot of trauma as
Oh
well.
yeah.
Because
Oh
I
yeah.
can tell you, I
Just
mean, I
to like
haven't done, substances, but I've done other things to cope, and it's mostly because to numb the pain, you know?
yeah.
No
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah.
And the
So
and the stuff me and my mom went through was pretty when uh that I was like, where is everybody? Like where is the help? And it's basically you're like shunned when they find out that you have a child with, special needs. I'm like, they're just like everybody else. I took her to the thing the other day with the waves, and she swam without her water wings. She's she's potty trained. Like just because her words ain't fully there yet. I always say yet because I know she's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? Um, they it's like, oh, don't say this, don't say that.
yeah,
She's learning different things. Like she's learning. I could see the difference where my son was and where she is at that age.
yeah.
Um, and that's another thing. Like that's why I want to open up my like own live if I can ever get the nerve and show parents just different things. But
Absolutely. Absolutely. You could
off
do this.
topic.
You can do this, man. You can be a live host and you can bring awareness because I'm
Yeah,
sure that what your story is, a lot of people resonate.
yeah,
Maybe not necessarily in this room, but you never know. You're gonna find the right people that are gonna go
yeah,
into your live and they're gonna resonate, right? Um,
yeah.
uh, Tammy says absolutely. Carly says I'm happy. I'll happily help. We have so many tools we can. Yes, absolutely. Right. We're a great
Thank you.
community. Welcome in, Jomo. Do you know Jomo, by the way?
Jomo, I've heard
So
like people.
Jomo, if you can hang out with us, Jomo is
Yeah,
amazing. He is an advocate. He's been, through he's recovered, right, from the
yeah,
addiction, and he is an amazing person that, for sure, he keeps you
yeah.
accountable. He's amazing.
Oh, I love
Um,
that.
yeah. So talk to me about a specific moment or rock bottom that made you realize that you needed to change.
Okay. So there was all kinds of times in my life where there was sobriety and then um there was sobriety and then there was like relapse, sobriety, relapse, sobriety, relapse. And then the rock bottom was where we lost everything. So it was like kind of like a rock bottom that like continued on and then it was like finally it hit. But we kind of lost everything and then we moved into it wasn't exactly like we weren't like on the street, but I would consider it like, oh my god, like consider where we came from and then we're doing this and then you know what I mean? And then we moved into a hotel and then we finally got our new place and then my husband had to go to prison and then he ended up going to having to go to prison for 4 or 5 years and then I was by myself and then I remember sitting there and I surrendered and I surrendered to Jesus. I said, Lord, I said, you need to help me. I said, you need to take this away from me right now. Like you need to like help me right this minute. I got on my knees. I'll never forget the day that it happened. I got on my knees by the side of my bed, and I said, "You need to help me right this second. I don't care how you do it. And when you do that, it's funny, like how God answers you. You know what I mean? In like the most like funny ways. He's like, oh, because like when you ask him from the heart, it's like, all right then, you
Yeah,
wanted it, you got it. So
absolutely.
I remember I asked it and then the next day, when that friend I told you about came to my house, and she's like, listen, and she wasn't judgmental. She was just like, I'm here to help you. And then
Bless,
I did
bless.
it, and then that was like in 2015, and then it's like I never looked back.
10
And
years.
then
You've been sober 10 years now?
yeah, oh, not 2015. What year was it? 2017. I know it's been so
2017.
long that I lose track because it's like there's
Yeah,
so
well, I
much
mean,
in my
that's
life.
what,
It's
that's
like
8 years.
I
I
don't
mean,
even think
eight
about it.
years
You know what
is
I mean?
a
I don't even
long
think about it
time.
anymore. Yeah,
Absolutely. And let me tell you, we say years, but let me do the math. So because years is a long 7 years may not sound like a lot. Let's put
yeah,
that in perspective here. We're talking about days, 24 hours every single day, especially when you are try to stay sober. That is a
yeah,
long time. So 7 years times 365 days, we're talking about 2,555 days that you were
Wow.
freaking sober.
That is a lot.
Yes.
And then it was like, but the enemy's like, but this, but this, but this, you know what I mean? But I'm like, but I got Jesus, you know what I mean? And I got my family because a lot of stuff happened after that that would have made me, the old me, relapse. Like my, daughter's like the diagnosis, because when my son got diagnosed, I fell to pieces. I was like, I think I stressed my body out so bad that I gave myself seizures because the doctor said your seizures are caused from stress.
Oh,
You stress yourself
wow.
out so bad that you put yourself into convulsions. Because
Wow.
I went to doctors everywhere. I went to all the doctors here. I went to California to get seen, and they couldn't find out what was wrong with me. They were like, they're just caused from stress, basically. So, when she was diagnosed, I was like, I had that peace that everything was gonna be okay. And we have our bad days, but I was just like, yeah, we'll just get her early intervention. We'll get her
Welcome in.
good people, and it was just such a different way. Like I could see, when you could see the change in yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And I could see that change in myself to where I was like, oh, like wow, it just felt so much better. And then I got into taking care of myself. I got into taking care of like exercising, doing skin, taking care of my skin, because my
Yeah.
aunt would like tell me all the time, you need to wear sunblock and you need to take care of your skin and all this. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna have nice skin, good skin forever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But since I got into that and taking care of my inside, it helps on the outside. Like, you know what I mean? And
Wow.
I've never had,
I
all I
mean,
had
you
done
look
was my lips
flawless.
and my eyebrows.
Your
Thank you.
skin is like glowing. Like, you look
Thank you.
flawless. And
Thank you.
Tammy says, if you give yourself a pat in the back. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
So much.
not everyone lives to
Thank
tell the
you.
story, you know?
Thank you.
And you are here and it's for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about a little bit about, because you did mention it, and I don't know, when you talked to me, you did say you were homeless. So correct me if I'm wrong. The question is, how did homelessness affect you emotionally and mentally, and what kept you going during those times? So you weren't homeless
Yeah.
completely,
No,
right?
typically it was like we lost everything and we were in
Okay.
that hotel. Remember I told you?
Yes.
So
Okay.
like to
Gotcha.
us that was like for us that was like a form.
Okay.
Um, because it was like, oh my God, like you know what I mean? This is where we've ended up. And it just was like a just a lower point in like our life. And like we didn't have yeah, like we didn't have a home, a place to call our home.
Right.
um and we didn't have a car, and we didn't have it just was very it was very it was a very depressing, lonely time. And like when I see that, I don't even want to look at that area. That's why when I was there, that eyebrow place, I was just like, oh my God, this like
It
you
brings
get that
back
feeling.
those memories.
Yeah, yeah,
So you don't live
yeah.
anywhere near that area
No,
anymore?
no,
Okay, thank God. Okay.
yeah. Thank you so much.
Wow. That's tough, man. Kelly says, I was homeless for a while with my son, and at that time was when my brother passed
Oh
away.
my God,
Oh
I'm
my
so
God,
sorry.
Kelly.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
tough. That's tough. And then, for those of you who just missed it, of course, I am going to put it on the YouTube this weekend. I promise you guys, please be patient. I still need to put up a several them. And so she was sharing her story in the beginning. Her father passed away, mother trauma, and this is where we are now. She fast forward a little bit. Her husband at this point was in prison, and now you're with the three kids, right? The three kids were
Yeah, and at that time we only had one.
oh, at that time you only had one kid.
One
Okay.
kid, the severely
Okay.
autistic one, the older one,
Okay.
and I was taking care of him on my own. Yeah, and
Hmm.
yeah, that was hard. That
Wow.
was hard. Um, but when he got home, is when we had the the two little ones. Yeah,
Okay.
after he got out. Yeah,
What would you say is the most painful part of your journey, and how did you survive it? Like, what was the most painful of everything that you've been through?
Losing my dad. Um, Losing my dad. And the way I think the way people judge you is really painful because it's like they tell you to get help, right? And they're like, we really want you to get help. I don't know if everybody's been through this, but it's like we don't want you to die, and you're gonna, and then when you do it, and then it's like, okay, I did it, and then they're like, okay, you good now, all right, and then it's like crickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if it's like you don't because something you did something. It's like you don't see them anymore. They they don't want to be bothered with you. They don't want to, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like I'm not that person anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it
Right.
wasn't like I went out and like, you know what I mean? Like robbed
Yeah.
a bank or something. I don't know, but like, um, and then on top of it, the journey with the kids. My kids get excluded from things. It's and I have to like shield them. At least they're old enough right now to know they're not old enough to understand what they're getting excluded from.
Carly
But
says you don't know me, but I'll give you my number if you just need someone to talk to. That's really nice, Carly,
thank
for you
you
to
so
say that.
much.
Carly's
Me
such a
too. I
sweetheart.
love talking to people. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love talking. As you know, Liz, I love. I'm a chatterbox.
No, and listen, I love to talk to people too. I really do, and I just want to say, people who give you their back. So you, that's I always say this. You know who's your real friend, family. I don't care who it is. In the good times, it's easy. It's easy, right? It's easy to be your
Yeah,
friend, to be your spouse in the good times. It's in the bad times, in the difficult times, that's when you really got to show. If you turn your back on somebody in the difficult times, then you're really not a friend. You're
right.
not a friend.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Especially when
absolutely.
they're like really close family. It's like, you know
Do
what I
you have
mean?
any? And I forgot. I don't know if you told me or not. Do you have any siblings?
I have a sister.
Okay. Do you guys have what's the relationship with your sister? Good or bad? Not so good.
It's
Okay.
really not. I don't
You
like.
did
I
tell
don't
me.
know.
That's right. You did tell me that your mother
Yeah.
kind of favors her over you, or right, something similar to that. Both of them.
But
Yeah.
back and forth. It's like back and forth, and then I don't know. She's like, I've been trying to have like a thing with her, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes with her. It's been a long time, but it's weird. It's I don't know. I don't know why it's so weird. But her kids really don't know me, and you know,
Does she live in the
uh,
same city or town
no,
that you?
she comes back and forth. She lives
Okay.
back east.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the sobriety part of it. What helped you and your husband get clean and stay clean? Because now you're clean for 7 years. Is he also clean for 7 years? Did you guys do it together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just the whole. I think it's like it was so bad that it was so bad, and the rock bottom was so bad that it's just like no, never, not like you know what I mean. And there's people I've seen people so bad. Like I watch Tales from the Streets all the time, and it's here in Phoenix. I don't know if you people see that on TikTok, and I'm like, how can they be that? You know what I'm saying? And I could see in their shoes, but I'm like, how could you not want it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how could you not? You know what I'm saying? Like, because um, that's what keeps us. It's like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like the thing of like losing your kids or like
Yeah.
having your kids see you that way.
Right.
That's also a thing. We're like breaking generational curses. We're like keeping, yeah, exactly.
Because the
Um,
so
the
hard.
hold is hard. It is hard. Um, and it's like some people haven't hit rock bottom yet, and it takes a lot for some people.
Yeah,
But for us, my
absolutely.
mom lost my brother, and I. Oh, your mom an addict, Carly? Um, but it's hard when you have a parent that is, and then you're
Carly says she
Oh,
was.
wow.
She was.
Yes, she was. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's it's a it's a horrible disease. And I do consider it a disease. Some people fight with you. It's like no, people choose to do that. I think it's a disease, especially when if you look at the statistics when you see how many people when there's lineages of like well the grandfather was and then the son was and then the one sibling wasn't but the one sibling was it like goes down down down. I think it's a like a bloodline disease. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? They
I
explain it
believe
a
it's,
lot in rehab.
I agree with you. My dad is an alcoholic. It's a disease. My dad had so much trauma in his life. He was sold at 11 days. He was sold. His mother sold him at 11 days old
Oh wow.
for money for 15 pesos, Dominican pesos. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So and my dad is an alcoholic. I mean, I'm not even gonna go into that, but I
Yeah.
truly believe it's a disease. It's a disease.
Yeah.
You know, some
Yeah.
people, it's a coping
I do too.
mechanism. People
Yeah.
choose. It's whatever advice you choose. I used to gamble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was my vice. I would disconnect from the world and then just literally plug my face into it and do it. You know, for
Yeah.
some people, it's the drugs. I know I can say it, and for the alcohol, it's
Yeah.
so many different things, right? So that
I
is
believe it's
definitely a
anything.
disease.
Absolutely, and I believe it's anything like with the body dysmorphia, doing that,
Yeah,
because that's a part of self control,
yeah.
and the alcohol, anything is
Yeah,
a can be an addiction. Shopping,
shopping is an
um,
addiction, absolutely.
yeah,
Eating.
yeah,
I was,
eating, right,
when I was a child, when I didn't gamble, I mean, I guess, if you really think about it, I've always had an addiction. I just have different addictions. As a child, I got to a point that I was 220 pounds, at the age of 15 years old, you
yeah.
know? So,
So you think back
and
on it, it's a yeah. So
we all I want to see that person that says that their life is completely perfect, because that person doesn't exist, right?
yeah, yeah.
So but I'm so happy that 7 years, and you are sober. And so the question is, what helped you and your husband get clean? So your husband also was in it as well, so you guys were, I guess, cheering each other on, like,
Right,
okay,
right. And
okay,
it was mostly when is it gonna stop? And then finally it was like God intervened and was like, this is what's gonna happen. He's gonna go and you're gonna go. You know what I mean? So I'm so glad that it was. I'm so glad that's the way it happened. And then I basically had to surrender myself. Um, I had to surrender myself. Like, okay, this is the way it's gonna be. Um, God, just take this away from me.
yeah.
You know.
So you guys, the next question is, how do you support one another in your recovery as a couple? You guys helped each other out.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
we just help each other. And um, he doesn't even like look at things like he keeps it away like you know what I mean. I like watching stuff. I love seeing people's stories. That helps me. I'm weird like that, I guess.
yeah,
Um, and with him, he rather not. He's like, I don't like seeing people do
right,
that. For him, it's a trigger. For
right, right,
me,
right.
I'm like, well, I like seeing people's success stories. I like, well, did she get better? Did she get? I don't know if you know Zion on Tales. She has like an amazing story because before she was on Tales, she was on here, and on TikTok, and she, oh my God,
What can
she
they
was
do?
unrecognizable,
Yeah.
and now she's like a success story, and I was so
Wow,
proud of her. I was just like,
yeah,
you, I can't believe you. I've been watching you from the beginning and you look amazing. I
that's
just
awesome.
like,
That's awesome. She went through
so
the whole recovery process on TikTok. Welcome and
yes,
thank you so much,
yes.
Auntie
Just
Cindy.
on thanking everybody, just but some people don't make it, but um, I like seeing, I like seeing people's, success stories but
Yeah,
he just don't, but yeah, no, we, and we have a great relationship. We've known each other forever. We've known each other since we've been 14. Um, and you know, we can talk about anything, so we're good.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So what would you say was the biggest mindset shift that you had to make you break that cycle? Because I'm sure, and I don't know, let me just ask you this question with this. Did you try and not succeed? Was this you did you try and the first time you were able to conquer it? So was it like did you relapse? Did you try relapse? How did that happen? And then, what was the biggest mindset that made you say, you know what, I've had enough of this and I'm never gonna do this again?
What was the biggest mindset shift?
Yeah.
Um, it was the let me see. I don't know how to explain it. It's like when you're ready, and if there's anybody in the comment section here, you do that with me. It's like when you know you're like done. It's like you've had enough. It's like you're done. You're like you want out of it, and like you'll do anything to change. It really doesn't like I can't explain it to you. It's like your mindset. You don't want this life anymore. It's like you don't want to be doing this. You
Right.
feel horrible. You feel like what kind of
They
person am
say,
I?
and I don't know if this was what happened to you, but they say you have to hit rock bottom.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
that's
that
what you
what
do.
it felt like when you said, you know what, I just don't want to live like this anymore, when you've had enough is enough, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you do. You completely hit, and you know what? When me and my sister, I forgot about this part. The night that it happened, I prayed to God. This is why I know God's real and that like he's had my back my whole life. Because anytime I prayed, anytime I've given anything over to him, he's been there. And when I gave this over to him, Dylan, you got to be good and stop teasing your brother, okay? And after I'm done, I'll get you a snack, okay? I'll get you another snack. Please be good, just for a few more minutes. My sister called when she heard that I was going, and she said, um, "Oh my God, Mary, I'm so proud of you. The night before I did this, so the night I prayed, okay, she had a dream that I was unalive in a coffin. She
Oh
went to
my
my funeral.
goodness.
She went to my funeral.
Wow.
Yeah, she said, I had a dream, and she said, I woke up, she said, in the middle of the night crying, and I went to your, like, she said it was just an empty, like, room, and she said it was just a single thing, coffin, and, it was just you laying in a, and, she said, I can't believe, she said, the next day, but I don't know if that was, because I was praying to God to be rescued. And then, the enemy was putting a thought in her head. You know what I'm saying? I
Of
don't know.
course.
I was like, why,
Yeah.
why that horrible dream out of nowhere when I was praying you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know. I thought that was so crazy.
Oh, so it's a lot.
Yeah,
People have no
yeah,
idea. People have never walked in those shoes, should never criticize because you just don't know, right? You
yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
here we
yeah.
go. Healing the inner child is the next topic that we're going to talk about. And
Okay.
welcome in, Auntie Cindy. How did you begin to heal the wounds from your childhood trauma? So let's go back to that, because I know that you have like kind of like an on and off relationship with your mom, right? So how did you begin to heal? Welcome in.
I did go to I did go to some therapy there. I don't know. There's a therapy where you lay down and they put a pillow or they put up like a blanket. Do you ever hear of it?
No.
It's like oh God, what's the name of it?
Does anybody know in the chat?
They start talking to you and asking you about
Is this like
your
a regular therapist that does this?
yeah, it's a regular therapist and
Oh,
you
there
lay
it
on
is. Somebody said it. EMDR. Is that it?
yes,
EMDR?
yes.
Oh,
And you
okay.
lay on it really helped. It did help me. When I was there and I got like four
Thank you, Carl.
sessions. That's where it began. Um and it was like trauma therapy and all that stuff. But they bring up things that you forget, things that like
Wow.
is has been, and they're
Is
like,
it
okay,
kind of like hypnotizing or something,
it's good.
or?
Trying to
It's
not
all
hypnosis. It's weird. They'll just start. You're very comfortable. It's yeah, but you kind of like break down, you cry, and it brings you back to like your childhood. They ask you different things, but it's not hypnosis. It's just talking to you, and then it was good. It was nice, and I
wow.
kind of started there, and then I just kind of left everything to God because like um me and my mom started uh on and off kind of healing our relationship, and then I don't know. I keep leaving that like with God.
And that there's no shame in that. As a matter of fact, Veronica just followed you. One of the things that Mary asked me was, "Am I going to be able? Can I talk about God?" And because it's part of her story, and I said, "Absolutely. I mean, if it's part of the story, I know that not everyone here is pro religion or God, but that's her story, right? So we have to respect that, right?"
Thank you.
What would you tell your younger version of yourself who was going through that pain? What would you tell her today if you would look
Oh,
back at that little girl?
that you got this to keep moving on. That like you're gonna make it because there was times in my life, especially when I was younger, that I did have thoughts of like unaliving. Thank God I never did it. Um, but my voice is the voice in my head would tell me like you're gonna get out of this. There's gonna be a day when you're a mom of your own, and you're gonna, you know what I mean? So I would just tell myself that you're gonna make it. You know what I mean? You're gonna be a good mom. Don't love yourself. Love yourself. Love your body. Um, because you only got one.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
um, I was so stupid when I was younger. I was like, when I think back, I was like, I was the same size I am now, and you know what I mean? I absolutely hated my body. I was like, oh, I'm so gross. This is ugly. And like, ooh. And it was just thoughts of self hate and being told all these things over my lifetime. And it was lies. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
I'm now going to be 40, and now I'm finally starting to appreciate who I am, starting to love who I am, starting to appreciate the features that I have. Not saying that I'm like, oh, I'm this beautiful person. I'm just saying that like as you get older, you start to appreciate what you have. You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely.
Because I used to judge every little thing. I would judge like,
Carla
why is
said
my
you're
nose so
gorgeous.
straight?
Absolutely, you're a very
Thank
beautiful
you,
lady.
thank you, thank you
But
so
I
much.
can understand where you're coming from, because I've always had a weight struggle. So I've
Yeah,
gotten to the point that I've gotten unrecognizably skinny, and even my mom was worried about me. But I still looked at
yeah,
myself in the mirror, body dysmorphia. I was as skinny as could be. I was almost fitting into a size two, and I'm tall. I'm
yeah,
5'7", and I
yeah. That's
still
what I'm
looked at
saying.
myself and thought that I was fat.
Right, right. And I can't wear this and like pulling your shirt down and like just I
Yeah.
was like, if my husband would say like, "You're crazy." He was like, why you think you're fat? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's And I was like, you
Well,
don't understand. Like full breakdowns, like crying and like, oh gosh.
yeah.
And people don't understand that it's a you're not being like what's that thing? Like
Oh, thank you, Carly. Thank you for
it's
that.
a mental thing.
Thank you so
It's a
much for
mental
saying that.
thing.
Um,
That's right.
and
But
listen,
isn't
I'm
that
not trying to
fun?
fish for compliments or
Pretty
anything.
hot inside or pretty hot
I
intention,
never
yeah.
did, bulimia or anything, but I would say probably the other side. I don't want
Thank
to
you
say
for
I'm anorexic because I didn't get to that point, but I would kind of fast for long periods of time to lose weight because, again, I thought, that I was fat. So,
yeah.
we all come from the
You're
traumas of
gorgeous.
some kind, especially if we've been impacted as a child. That's why I say as a parent, really be careful of how you treat your kids because you don't know.
Yeah,
The kids of today are going to be the adults of tomorrow. And
yeah,
then they're going to bring that baggage with them, right?
Yeah.
So how do you protect your peace now, especially now that you're a mother of three kids?
If my peace gets disturbed, I cut that off, and I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna cut this off right now, and you can call me or whatever when you're when you're normal. Also, another thing is when you said about how we treat our kids, I always tell my daughter how beautiful she is, and my son how handsome they are. I always tell them how much I love them,
Yeah.
because they're taking everything in. They're observing. They're because we know, because we were, what I mean, we were kids when we were young.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
You home right now? Okay. Hi. So no, no, no.
Okay.
So we understand how that is.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because of the fact that, we've been through so much, so
Hmm.
only people that walked in those shoes can understand, not everybody
Right.
obviously had, some people never went through those traumas, right? And those people are the ones that don't understand, oh, well, how did they start using drugs? Like, it's the emotional, again, the numbness. You just want this, people choose a different vice to numb that pain, right? And suffering.
Right. Right.
So let's talk about motherhood and breaking the cycle. What does motherhood
Okay.
mean to you after everything you've been through?
That's one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Hmm. One of
Yeah.
the most important things
Yeah.
in my life.
Welcome back, Joe Mo. Welcome back. I know this is not here and you don't have to answer that question or not. I'm just gonna ask it because it segues into that. Are you, will you ever share your story with your kids? Would would you really tell them what happened, or you'll decide not to do that?
Probably someday. Yeah.
Okay,
Probably someday.
just curious.
Yeah.
So,
My daughter especially. Yeah.
how are you creating a different life for your children? Obviously, because we want the best for our kids. So how do you, what would you say, how are you making it better for your kids?
Um. By not. I'm trying to think. By not doing the things I was doing when I was younger, by not having the environment that I was
Right.
raised. So
They're definitely growing in a healthier environment, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And then what lessons do you want to pass on to them, especially around strength and resilience?
Um. Love yourself. Be kind. And love each other. I want my kids to be close and love each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always tell them be close and love each other. They're fighting right now. So that's what
How
they're doing.
far apart? So the oldest is 17.
The oldest is
Uh,
17 and the other two is 5 and 3.
Thank you so much. I just saw a subscription come through. Thank you so much, Tammy, for the subscription. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Tammy. So wait, so 17 and the two younger ones are?
5 and 3.
Okay, so the younger ones are probably going to be closer in terms of getting, not the word getting along.
Yeah.
In terms of, so for me, right? Because my oldest sister is 17 years older than me. She's
Oh
technically my
wow.
mom. So, we get along, we love each other, but it's not that bond because there's generational gap and everything, right? I
Yeah.
think that the fact that you have the two younger ones closer in age, I think those two are gonna be, it kind of works well because I feel like the older one could kind of take care of the younger two, right? Because
Yeah.
let's be real, one day we're not gonna be here, right? So hopefully they'll bond, and that's what I want to do with my kids. I want them to bond, not to have like me that my siblings are all segregated and separated.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I know. We there was times where me and my sister was close, and then
yeah.
it's I don't know. It's,
Yeah, to me too.
so
It
I
goes
want
in. Trust me, I know it goes in waves. We're right now currently in such current situation is that my New York sister in New York, we don't speak.
yeah.
But am I never gonna speak to her again? That's impossible. I know that there's gonna be a time that when we're ready, we'll talk again. So it goes in cycles, right?
Yeah.
So, support and advocacy. Let's talk about that, right? Because I know that I guess your purpose here on TikTok, one of your purposes is to go live and talk about this stuff and advocate for it, right?
Yeah,
As well.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what support systems, whether it's programs, people, tools, have made a difference or an impact on you?
Um, my program, like person, like for which thing, for which.
So, let's talk about, I guess, your recovery, whether it's that recovery from your addiction, whether it's the trauma recovery, like what helps you? Like, do you have that support system outside of your home, like in general? Do
That,
you go to
yeah,
any groups
not really. Like that's why I
okay,
go on here is
okay.
because of that.
TikTok is one of your support systems,
Yeah,
right?
it's one of my supports. Yeah, and then on uh, but I do know a lot about like the kids aspect. I do know a lot about. I've grown into knowing a lot about like just like skincare things and just about like rejuvenating stuff, just like to help moms and stuff like that, and like um supplements for kids and just different things like to show them uh what works and what doesn't work for my kids,
Yeah,
and if they wanted to try it on their kids. Not that I'm selling anything, just to show like I did this and I did this and I did this and this helped with this. Do
right.
they, you know what I mean? This helped with speech. This did this because with my oldest, we had to go the RX way with my oldest, but with my 5-year old, we went the holistic way with her with
Okay.
supplements,
Yeah.
and the difference is amazing because with my oldest, that's a whole other part of my story. I think I'm thinking about writing a book too, so that's a whole other
Oh,
thing
that's
because
amazing. No,
it's
that's awesome.
there's so much to unload. But with my oldest, he when he got diagnosed, there was nothing because he's 17, and there was no help. They
You
give
got
you
a
a
couple
diagnosis.
of people wanting to talk to you. They could be your support system. So look at
Yes, I
that.
would love
Not
it.
to
That
interrupt you,
that's
but look,
great.
even Tammy says I can give you my number. So you got Carly, you got Tammy, you got
Message me
me.
your
I don't
number.
know who anyone else. She talked.
Absolutely.
We've talked also as well. So yeah. So you definitely have a support system. That's what I love about this community. That we got each other's back. Like
Yeah,
the day
I
that you
love that.
don't feel up to it. Like Mama Cat was going through an episode yesterday, and I reached out to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not only thinking about me. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about Mama Cat. I'm thinking about if Elena has thing going on. Nelson, you guys it's a community thing. It's a
right,
community.
right,
Yeah, absolutely.
right. The
So, what would you say to someone that's listening who's struggling right now and doesn't see the way out? So, I don't know if you know anyone that's going through this right now, but if somebody's listening right now, what advice would you give them?
if someone's struggling and doesn't see a way out, there's always a way out. There's always a way out of your situation. So pick yourself up by the bootstraps because you got this. Because um, there's always a way out, and somebody does love you. Somebody does love you, and if I can do it, you can do it. Because we were, we were in a really bad situation, and you can do it. You really, really can do it. And there's all kinds of support systems on here, and you can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I truly
Um,
believe it. Yeah.
because I don't know what they're doing. I'm scared to go upstairs when this is over.
Oh God. Well,
Yes, I
I
know.
mean, we only
Fun.
have literally like a couple more questions, and then I'll
Yes.
open it up for the chat. I know that obviously don't want to. We've been on, believe it or not, for an hour already, so that's
Oh
amazing.
wow. Okay.
So I will edit the parts where you had to go back and stuff, so don't worry
Yeah.
about that. How can we better support survivors of trauma and addiction in our communities? So give me some tips. What do you
Oh,
think of a good way to be a support system?
the judging part. Absolutely. The judging part. Um, if you see somebody if you see somebody that needs help, especially your friend, if you see someone that needs like how can I explain it? Like a helping hand, because I had stuff going on, and it was overlooked, especially when I was younger. Stuff that was overlooked, and it was okay to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you see something that's going on, you know, help your friend without a judgmental eye, because that's what saved me. Because I had a friend that
God, thank you.
helped me, and
Mm.
the way she presented herself and helped me, she is a true Christian lady. Because people can call themselves Christians all they want, but until you act like it, until you act like that person that's not coming at you with like all these judgments and stuff, um,
Love that,
yeah,
Carly. Fix a crown without pushing someone down. That is
right,
true.
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, till you see someone, when you see someone that needs help,
Yeah,
just say it in not a judgmental way, because that's what it is. When someone sees that judgment,
yeah.
it's a turn off, and people's like, you know what
Oh,
I mean?
absolutely. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't want those people around me. People that pass judgment on others, I don't want
yeah,
those people. They're not my friends. I don't care if even if I'm not the one being judged, I don't want to be around people like
yeah,
that. Absolutely
yeah.
not.
I
Um,
made her my daughter's godmother. She's
oh
my daughter's godmother. Yeah,
wow, that's
yeah,
awesome. So that means you
yeah,
guys still. I was going to ask you, do you guys still communicate? But I guess the answer
yeah,
is yes, right? Welcome back, Elizabeth Francis.
yeah.
That's awesome. So you guys still communicate in that. And your kid, she's the godmother of your youngest, you said? Oh,
My
your
middle,
middle one. Okay.
yeah, middle one.
Awesome. And so, what is your proudest moment since you turned your life around? So, the last 7 years, what could be the one of the things that you could say you're proud of?
Ooh, my kids, um, we've had, we're just grown up. We're just like we've came so far. We never used to like be adults. You know what I mean? I know
Yeah,
it's embarrassing, but it was like we were immature. We weren't taking care of things the way we should have been,
yeah,
and now everything's like on time. Everything is on the way it should be. We have um, we got a brand new. We had a car before that, but then we just traded and got another car and a brand new one. Um, and like just everything's on time. Like everything, we don't have to worry about like, oh my God, this is, you know what I mean, this and this and this and this,
yeah,
and like we're not like you know, millionaires, but we have what we need,
yeah,
and we're happy. But like, uh, I like the fact that we don't have that. We always had that thing like, oh my God, like sometimes we're either late or something. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
we don't have to worry about that no more.
That's awesome. That's an amazing feeling that you
Basically
don't have to
growing up,
worry
being
about that.
adults, and
You've come a long way. I mean, from from the initiation, from the beginning to, losing it all to then recovering to then coming here is just a phenomenal journey that you've done, So definitely, this is the last question I
if
have for you, but I
anybody,
do want to ask you one more question. So this last question I have here, what does thriving look like for you today? So how do you consider yourself thriving?
thriving for me today. Well, I'm on um just like just thriving, just doing everyday things, thriving in my um thriving with my daughter, my kids' schools, and thriving with taking her to where I need to take her, and cooking, and just doing like the everyday things, and um thriving with my friendships, and thriving with my
That's awesome.
uh my trust with people. Like people trust me, and like you know what I mean, and like they don't have to worry about different things. Like you know what I'm saying? Because then sometimes you'll get this thing, especially back when you're in like that type of deal. Like people won't leave things around you. People won't leave like purses, or
Right, because
you know
they
what I'm
think
saying.
you're gonna,
And then now it's like people don't worry about that. It's like you know what I'm saying. People will leave medicine. People will leave
right,
like
yeah.
that's not a
No,
worry because
that never even occurred to me, but yeah,
yeah, yeah.
wow.
So it's like it's such yeah, it is. It's such an amazing feeling when you're like, oh. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Thank you.
because I look out for stuff like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
are they gonna like not like lock the door and like because they think I'm gonna like go in there? Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
no, it's not even like a thought. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
Awesome.
oh, like
So
good.
I think that you would be a great live host, and I think that you
Thank
would
you.
do really well. I really mean it. That because your story probably, not probably, I'm very sure that a lot of people could resonate with your story. And it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly the same thing, but I resonate with you, even though it's not. That's not the same path that I chose, but I can resonate with you with certain things, how far you've come. Please take my number. Don't put it in
Yeah.
the chat though. You definitely don't want to do that. Thank you so much for the heart, man. Welcome in, Daniel. Um, I really am going to push you to go live. I think, of course, obviously you have three kids, so, and you have obviously two with special needs. So for you, it's probably a little bit challenging to do it. But I think maybe even if you start a couple of days a week, I think it would be
Yeah.
amazing for you.
I was thinking about doing it like a couple days a week starting off while they're at school.
Yeah.
And that's where I was gonna start and then just go from there. I told you I did a TikTok live shop the other day
Yeah.
and it was so funny because I was like sitting here and I was trying to fix the things and I'm like this close to the thing and all I seen was all these things, like horrible things being said to me and I just laughed because I was like, what are you, like 12, sitting
So,
telling me all
so
these horrible things?
it does, right. So I just want to say when you go live, and I think that's the biggest fear that people have, obviously, that there's going to be people that are going to troll. Listen, they're
Mm,
gonna troll no matter what. People that do that obviously have no life. And people
yeah,
that choose to go on the app to just hurt other people, say things to strangers, right? Because obviously the
right,
girl didn't know you or the kid or whatever it was. Um,
yeah,
so just people just ignore it.
yeah.
Ignore it because though there's a mute button for that. So if somebody gets out of line with you, all you gotta do is grab their name right there and literally hit the mute button. That's all you gotta
How
do.
many how many lives do I have to have before I can have somebody up in the box? Do I have to have a few?
I think, and I don't know if this is true, and thank you guys for completing the goal. I appreciate you. I know that you have to go live the first three times, 30 minutes or more. That I do
Okay,
know. And
okay.
I don't, because it's a blur to me because obviously I've been going live now for over a year and a half, but it's by followers, says Carly. Okay. I mean, but obviously she could go live,
Oh,
right?
it's by
How many
followers?
followers do
Okay.
you have right now, mother of three?
Almost 6,000, I think, like
Oh yeah,
five.
she's
Okay,
good. She could do TikTok shop. She could do everything, pretty much.
okay, okay.
Um, I would to have people in a box. I would test it out. Oh, I know what
Hmm.
you could do. I know what you could do. Before you go live, Mary, you can. Oh
Yeah,
no, I was gonna say before you go live, Mary, what you could do is there's a practice mode.
yeah. Oh, yes, I seen that.
So do the practice mode. See if you can actually open up the box. How many times have you gone live?
I went three, four, but I went three, but I think that's expired already because it was like a year ago,
Doesn't
and I
matter.
only
No,
had.
I don't think they started you all over. Once you did it three times, I mean, I could be wrong. Anybody in the chat can answer that question. Welcome in, Kathy. Um, does anybody know that question? I honestly don't because, like I said, I've been going live ever since July of last year, so over a year.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't expire. It doesn't expire.
Because that would be cool. That would be kind of like ease my nerves if I could just go live and then have somebody up and just kind of like, talk back and forth and be like, you know what I mean? And just kind of ease into it that way, just kind of talk
Yeah.
and maybe talk to one of the moms that have a special needs child
Yeah.
and then start from there because
Absolutely. If you
you
want to
know
do
how it
that,
is.
there's
It's
people that go
nerve
live
wracking.
and literally just hang out with boxes and you could do,
Yeah,
that makes you feel comfortable to have other people. Because I know it could be nerve-wracking, right?
yeah.
Especially when you're alone like you're not like this, we're not engaging in a
This
conversation.
is so much
To
more
be-
comfortabler
Right.
when I'm by myself. I feel like somebody please talk. Somebody
Right,
please
because you're
talk.
not hearing anybody engage with you. So
Yeah,
I could understand that portion, right? So if that makes you feel more comfortable, definitely, honey, if you want to chat about special needs, I'll help, says Carly. Look at that. See, Carly,
Yay.
if I'm not live, because it seems
I
like
love
I'm
it.
live every minute of the day, but if I'm not live, listen, I'll join you as well. I know there's people, Tammy, I'm sure is going to say yes, Miriam. I mean, we got a good community. We got a
Yeah.
good community. I go live more often with others. See, Carly says that she does.
All
So,
these ladies,
oh,
that's her.
oh, God bless
Yeah.
her. Auntie Cindy, welcome back. So, absolutely. I think I cannot wait till you tell me and you text me and say, "Hey, Liz, I decided that I'm going to go live." My advice to you would be
Okay.
that set the same day. Start small. Like, don't commit if you can't go live every day, then don't commit. I
Okay.
think because then people are expecting you to go live, and then they're like, she doesn't, she's unreliable. I would say
Right.
pick a day, at least a day or two, that you can commit. Maybe when the children are in school, even if it's for just like an hour or 45 minutes, and then just stick to that time, right?
Yeah.
That's what I did because I was struggling in the beginning. I literally, when I first started going live, I was only going live at night. I was going live at 7 o'clock at night, and then I
Yeah.
bounced to 11 o'clock in the morning, and then it was just like people didn't know. It was hard to put.
Yeah.
To get to where I am now, it was a lot that I had to go
Yeah.
through. So
Yeah.
my advice to you is definitely if think about it, plan it out, and say, all right, hypothetically, let's say if you say, okay, I'm gonna go live Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm gonna go live. The kids are in school at 10 o'clock in the morning. Whatever. This is an
Okay.
example, and just stick to that plan. Those people. Honestly, the people who have negative things to say, let them walk in your shoes. People love
Yeah.
to be
Right.
opinionated. People
Yeah.
love to cast opinion of this and that. Let them walk in your shoes.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
seriously. The
Exactly.
best thing is you've done is yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to. Do you have an idea of like more or less when you're gonna start? Is it like a week from now, or do you have an
Probably
idea?
what's today? What's today? Thursday. Probably next week. Probably next week, and I'll start. Um, I'll start going from 10:30, 11 to get home. Probably like 12 to
12.
like 1:30.
Keep keep in mind, and you are Pacific time, right?
Yes, I'm in Phoenix.
Okay.
I'm in Arizona, so
Okay,
that's
so
Pacific, right?
12 for Mary is 3 p.m. for East Coast people. If you're in the East Coast, that would be your 3 p.m. If you're Central, that would be your 2 p.m. If you're Mountain, that would be your 1 p.m. And obviously, if you're Pacific, that's 12 noon. New
All right.
Jersey. So then,
So
yeah, so you and me, 3 o'clock is the time then.
ow.
Yeah. Anybody have any final questions, guys? Because as you can see, her daughter needs her at this point. I want to be respectful of that. And mother of three, is there anything else you wanted to add to what we were talking about?
um, just that I'm so proud of everybody here in the chat. If you've been through something and you made it through, so proud of you. So proud of Liz. You really came a long way since I first started watching you. Because I
Thank you.
remember your room and the way it used to be. Don't spray the bleach, please.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I hardly had three people in the room. If I could keep three people, and I'm cool. And it's patience,
yeah,
I think. I people have seen me off the app where I've gotten off of a live with three people and I've cried. I'm like, I'm a failure. I've said to myself, I'm a failure. I'm never gonna have. I guess nobody. I'm boring. I even said to my husband, and I guess because I'm not 25 and I'm not showing my breast in anger, I've said that.
right.
Maybe I need to be 25 and showing my breast, and then maybe they're gonna come to my room.
Yeah.
I used to get angry. But so thankfully there are friends that have told me you just got to be patient. I'm a very impatient person. So you got to
Yeah.
be patient. You got to believe in yourself. You just gotta keep going. So please don't get discouraged. And I know that it's easier said than done. I'm telling you this because I've been through it. Please don't get discouraged. Even if the first live you do, there's only three people. It's three
Yeah.
people that need to hear what you need to say. It
Yeah.
will grow. It does take time. It will grow.